Welcome to another episode of Fix My Game, presented by King's Kimonos. We're here in London at Apex Jiu-Jitsu, home of ADCC Trials winner, Owen Jones.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a round. We went to train this morning. Now we're gonna do this little Fix My Game. I'm gonna beat up poor Corey over here, and then and I'm gonna tell him what he needs to improve on. Probably put him in a reverse close guard a couple of times.
Cool.
Huh?
Got him with the finisher.
Come on, bro. The position of the day, the Yeppy lock.
No, that was nuts. I want to ask you about maybe a couple things that you noticed some quick adjustments could help me in some positions. I noticed you're getting off really quick. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like from bottom, like when you're playing guard, I feel like you're not making enough grips. Whether that's like 2-on-1s passing across, whether that's like connecting yourself to the legs. It felt like I was always able to create an angle, and then you'd have to try and like really force a reaction, right? And like you'd already be like 2 steps behind.
Sure.
So I'd already be almost past before you'd start like capitalizing back, you know? Whereas I feel like, obviously I want to form connection, right? What I felt like was I would Toriando against you here, and as I would go to the side, here, now you'd start retaining, right? Whereas when I'm playing in front of you, I'm me trying to get like 2-on-1s, and I'm forcing myself to connect, and I'm trying to be like proactive with my guard, you know, rather than just like sitting and retaining. So like for me, like what helped a lot was thinking about 2-on-1 controls, maybe even like forcing your hand towards my chest, because it kind of like isolates your option to go towards the same side of my leg. Also gives me back exposure, and also I can start using that to now start inverting underneath. Or I can even start entering your legs from here. I can start posting, like false sweeps as well from here, you know? Just being more like proactive with your hand fighting as well. Like I felt like if you play guard, I'd be here, and now you'd start
here I'm starting to
recovering,
fight.
right? Yeah, and now I'm immediately coming north-south, and I stop dropping my weight, and I'm being you to that position, right? Whereas if you're using more like 2-on-1s to try and connect to me, yeah, exactly. Here I'm already in like a defensive cycle. Now I have to like disengage. Yeah, so now it's trying exactly to re-attack, right? Whereas you felt like, I felt like I was always like leading the round, you know? Sure. Like wrestling up, throwing wrestling up and hand fighting, for me is the most annoying thing, you know? Like I don't like when people bottom do that. When I walk into someone and I go like this and they fall on their back, this is what I want, you know?
Giving you a lot of pathways.
Yeah, now I can immediately start cutting exactly, yeah, you're gonna pose here like this, yeah, let me, already gone.
That feels familiar.
The far side, you know, you're already actively retaining, right?
Yeah.
Like, the way I think about passing, especially outside, is I'm trying to make you retain, and I'm passing like your guard retention, right? Whereas like, because I won't walk into your guard, let you set up a De La Hiva, and I'll go, I'm gonna pass De La Hiva, right? It's more like I'm gonna make you high pummel, yeah, now I'm gonna pass your high pummel, right? Or I'm gonna make you try and bring your knee inside, here, yeah, when you do that, now I'm gonna start sitting in for leg drags, maybe sitting back on heels or finishing the pass, right? So if you're already retaining for me, makes my life easier, right? If I don't have to stop you from establishing a guard, that's one easier step for me, right?
Yeah.
So it's making you have to destroy my guard before anything, right? Like I'm here, now you have to clear my De La Hiva, and now start passing on the outside, and then I have to start retaining. So I'm also threatening you, right? It's much harder to pass someone when you have to worry about being attacked, whether that's like joy bars or leg entries or stuff like this.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. So really more like attacking from my guard before they can start to put me in a defensive position.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. You pulled it off a couple times. Obviously, you're kind of the guy for it right now, but I want to ask you a little bit about that reverse close guard and some of the attacks you're playing there, because I felt it's a funny thing to look at, right? Because you're like, okay, there's attacks here, but those probably not gonna. But in that position, you feel like, oh shit, both of my legs are exposed, and if I try to defend my legs, my back's exposed. So I kind of want to get a feel for A, how you set it up, and B, some of the A1 attacks.
Yeah. So for me personally, like recently, most of my attacks have come off of like retention. So like, let's say you would start like a Toriando towards north-south as you're passing. If I can immediately like retain, because usually when you're defending north-south, both of your legs are going to be on either side of their body, right? So whether it's like hand fighting first, or like, yeah, if you're here, whether it's like clearing and attaching first, and then I can start shooting my legs through here. This is stuff I start to do, right? Or if they're like trying to drag like low in towards the side control, and I can like cross pummel. See how like my legs are already like crisscrossed on you here. Now I can like attach onto even an arm until the legs were in reach, and now I can start shooting through here. Obviously then we have the setups like from like a square on guard, right? You have like, I feel like K guard's probably the most common, where I can like attach myself to the knee, and now I can like cross the legs and shoot up from here. But then I think more recently I've been working more like entangling from like an off balance. So let's say I've got like a kiss of the dragon and you've like dropped to your knee to avoid me taking your back. Yeah, exactly from here. Now I can start pummeling here and shooting in here. And definitely, I feel like the most common I see it now at least is from 50-50. Because obviously the standard defense for you is to start turning this way and standing up, right? Yeah, here, and now you're gonna start trying to underhook my legs, right? Yeah, exactly. Usually they underhook the top leg, even if they underhook the bottom leg, I don't mind too much. So now I can start pummeling in towards an X here. And now I can start switching, shooting through. Cool. So like, a lot of these give me different options here. The reason I like this one a lot is because I immediately have control of your legs. So your knees are immediately on the floor, and I can scoop your ankle onto my shoulder. So now as I shoot through here, for you to stand up on this leg is quite difficult here, and I can immediately start attacking your foot here. So I can immediately start going right hand across onto the toes and passing off here, and immediately start threatening submissions from there. Anytime I put someone 50-50 now, their immediate reaction is to like try and hide the heel and stand up like this. Obviously here, then I will start throwing almost like a traditional gi sweep, you know? Sure. I take like a straight full of grip on the near side leg. I start throwing in like an X here. Yeah, I'm trying to catch the foot on the hip here. The main thing I'm making sure is that I'm just not leaving this leg exposed, right? Because obviously there are the knee bars and like the counter heel hooks. So I'm just making sure I'm pointing my toes, yeah, and keeping my knee on top of theirs here. Then if I can with this hand, I take like a scoop grip onto the ankle here. Yeah, see how this immediately makes it harder for me to step up onto this leg? Because you're kind of forcing my foot on the floor. Now you can shoot this leg through here, yeah, exactly here. And immediately like bicep curl this one so it comes onto your shoulder. I kind of want, yeah, when my toes are on your shoulder, it makes it difficult for me to start standing up into you because you can drive your heels towards the floor. Yeah, forcing my hands back from that, almost like standard close guard here. Sure. And also, the reason I keep a scoop is because if you don't have control of my legs, I can put you in it as well, right? So always maintaining a scoop means now if I try and sit under like this, which a lot of people tend to do, it just exposes their foot even more because now they don't have their secondary leg to defend. Here. So keeping a scoop on one leg at all times is my main thought, right? Sure. Now to finish. Here, yeah.
Just straight toe hold.
So the regular toe hold, the issue with this is I can extend my leg, right? So if you try and bend my leg, I can kind of straighten my leg over your head with this toe hold grip, right? So with the modified grip, I'm coming with this hand over the toes here. So it's almost acting like an outside heel hook pressure on here. So now if I try and extend my leg here, it's applying pressure onto my own knee, so I don't really want to do it too much.
And are you just reinforcing it with this hand?
Yeah, because the issue with just having one hand is I can kind of hand fight maybe and start slipping my toes. Admittedly, it's quite difficult, but people can do it. Maybe they can start kicking the elbow and clearing here. But I feel like when I go two hands on and I reinforce here, making sure this one's like almost make a grip on my foot like this here. So you actually have an active grip.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like covering the whole foot.
Yeah, now it's gnarly. Yeah. Now
it feels really powerful, that grip.
People try and like rotate their body through it here. I feel like this makes it quite difficult to finish. Like personally, I kind of like moving the foot away from me here, almost trying to get your heel to the butt. You know, with regular toes, you're always told like bringing the foot close to the butt puts more tension here. So it's kind of the same principle with that, right? I bring your foot close towards the butt, and now when I start turning closer towards this, I have more leverage coming through here. And I feel like I'm gonna get a better tap.
Can I ask you about hip position there? It feels like when you were entering there, you obviously want to get my hands to the mat, but it felt like your hips were heavy. Are you engaging your hips like you're in the close guard?
Yes, I'm always trying to lift my hips up and drive my heels towards the floor, like almost that like bridging pressure. It's the same when you're trying to like finish a straight flog, you know, you're driving your heels back and your hips are coming up. It's the same thing, always maintain that pressure. If I'm just lazy with my legs and you can stand up with a great posture, this is when people start to escape, right? Whereas if you're really struggling to get your hands off the mat to stand up, it's going to delay your stand up and it's going to give you more time to enter on your legs.
Cool.
Maybe you want to show some of your outside passing?
I can do.
Cool, yeah.
I was frying you up with it.
Yeah.
My favorite sequence is usually the thigh drag, right? I think the way I set it up a lot of the time is I kind of like bait the reverse to the healer. So I start to Toriando as I'm coming through. I'm almost like as if I'm stepping into a split squat, and then I'll start to like windshield wiper towards the end of the movement, right? So I start coming through here. I'm almost basically making you believe you're going to catch this leg. Now as you do, I can start to windshield wiper here. Immediately my right hand can start to come to your inside thigh here. what I'm trying to think about is pulling your knee and elbow away from each other, right? Because if you have knee-elbow connection here and I try and dive in, you're not going to have to retain too hard, right? So this hand, I'm trying to pull your knee away from your chest as I shoot my left hand under your lat. Commonly, people start going for the head. The issue I have with the head is the Choi bar from here. Obviously, Lockdown Giles gave Cade like a ton of problems with this, just clamping onto the arm. Yeah, it makes you have to limb palm away, right? Which then creates too much connection, like too much disconnect, sorry. Whereas if I come underneath the lat, I feel like it's very difficult for you to get your elbow inside of mine here, and you don't really have any Choi bar threat. And also, another benefit, if you try and high pummel now, this transition is very close. From the lat to the thigh is an easy switch. I can even double back on myself, you know? Whereas the head's quite far away. If you high pummel now, yeah, for me to get my hand here, you see how you can even slow me down when you're not really trying to slow me down? Whereas from here to here, it's super easy for me to make this switch. So I start faking in, I'm trying to feint, I start windshield wipe, and as I come through, I'm switching to these grips. I'm just trying to block your knee and elbow connection. I can even add like an extra push away here. As you high pummel, I start switching to the thigh. I'm trying to get my shoulder inside of your knee. I don't want my head here. I want my shoulder inside. And a common thing people do, I feel like they drop in with this near side knee. The reason I don't like this is because if you step your leg super hard here, this top leg, yeah, if you step it towards the floor, yeah, you see how it breaks my posture? And now for me to like double back on myself is quite difficult because it creates that space here. So I'm always pummeling through with like a shin cut motion here. So as I pin, I drop my inside knee and I pummel my left leg in for like this leg drag position. Because now I have a lot more power to pull your knee down, and I also have the option to double back in the middle, you know? Like Gordon did this against like Victor Hugo, right? He was pummeling in with his leg inside here, so now he has the option to either go back to the middle or get a nice pull on this thigh here. So I'm trying to fake, come inside, immediately come through here, you start high pummeling, like a windshield wiper, straight through.
So it feels like you're always leaving yourself two options. From that.
Yeah, I never want to have one option, right? I feel like if you always have one option, then they only need one counter, right? I always want to have a counter to the counter, basically, as it sounds, you know? Yeah, I start trying to, exactly, and then immediately switching this hand to the thigh. Yeah, this for me, I think is the most important. Now as I'm pulling the knee away, this one can come across on the upper, exactly. You see here, it's hard for me to pummel my bottom leg inside. Yeah, I can't really connect, even if I connect, it's kind of insignificant, And in this hand, the frame is quite difficult. You're pinning my shoulders flat. I kind of want to be on my side to defend this, right? But because you're pinning my shoulder, it makes it difficult for me to high pummel, even if I can like grab my own leg. There's not a lot of space for me to come in here. So then you switch to the thigh and I also like pin the leg. Yeah, the issue with this is you see how it kind of like creates this here.
So you're coming here.
Yeah, my shoulder on the inside, Cool. Now if I drive, I'm driving into your shoulder here, exactly.
Interesting. And then I go this way or...
Or you can, if you feel like they're opening their knee, you start back stepping through the middle. And I feel like, another thing actually, if you go for the thigh drag again, so when you come through here, when you like complete this pass, usually I feel like they start trying to turn, right? I feel like if you get your head onto the near side shoulder, like using my ear on the inside here, for them to toe is actually quite difficult if you're driving your head towards the mat. Here, it's hard for me to turn away. I feel like this is a very good way to secure this position. Because obviously, I feel like in the gym, I'll grab their trap and I'll force them to turtle. Because I kind of want to chase their back, right? But in like a points rule set, ADCC, and I want to pin them flat on their back, I'm going to make sure I bring my head inside and like keeping it tight, and I can grab their trap as well. I'd probably grab the near side trap just because I don't want them to turtle. Yeah, I'm pulling them down here. You see here now, even if I bring my hand over, I find it very difficult to turtle. Now you can pummel this hand out into like a near side leg drag position. Yeah, exactly. Here. Now here you can pin. In fact, the most common thing I see is people come through here, they like do a massive movement, and then they have to deal with the second pummel, right? Which sometimes happens. We can use like a cross post to destroy that, but like if you try and high pummel from like this kind of leg drag here, it should be hard. I should be like pinning that leg, And then if you try and turn, when I feel like you try and turn, stop lifting my head over, trying to get double on the hooks, maybe forcing like chest to chest. I'm trying to advance into that like shin on belly position. People like tend to do this, right? If someone's flexible, they can, like, me personally, I don't care, like if someone's doing this. I get annoyed when people start moving my knees away from my chest, because now I have to actually use my core to bring my knee to my chest, right? Which obviously is why like camping works quite well. You know, like people who are quite good at the camping pass, people like Joseph, is because they're constantly driving the knee away from the chest, and what makes you tired is bringing this knee back inside. So it's something I'm trying to incorporate into my own outside passing, like trying to drive in like this, yeah, like opening you up here, making you really expose yourself. Just trying to elongate your spine as much as possible as well.
That initial pull gave me like an immediate instinct of desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
immediately
cool.
you want to start like actively trying to like push me away with everything you have.
Right.
And like for me, it's very low effort. You know, I can just walk around and then immediately open you up. And I feel like as well, I don't feel like people like faint enough with like baiting connection. You know, like if you're a good guard player and you're sitting on this hip, and I just move around here, even if I switch to here, it's going to be slightly difficult for me to get your knee away from the chest. Whereas if I'm here and you extend for a reverse lever and I clear it, I can get a significant like exposure here, and also it means I can drop immediately inside. Like as I'm windshield wipering here, I'm already chest over chest, right? Whereas when people outside pass, they're like all the way over here, and now yeah, you're gonna frame. You're not gonna let me get that close to you, right? Whereas if I'm kind of coming through the middle in a way, I'm not coming through here yet.
So you're feeding me something to extend myself so that it's easier for you to
For me to then
finish extending.
give you the momentum to keep going in that direction, right? Rather than like resisting you pulling your knee to your chest, I'm giving you that extra leverage to pull
That's
your
really
leg away.
cool. Man, Owen, a lot of really cool stuff. I'm really interested in experimenting more with the reverse close guard. And yeah, the outside passing becoming such a integral part of the no-gi game especially, but we're even seeing it in the gi a lot. I think it's really the next, the contemporary guard passing style right now. So
Yes, I have 2 instructionals now. Should be out now on BJ Fanatics. The outside passing, I think it's called outside the guard, inside her DMs, and then we got reverse cowgirl or reverse close guard on BJ Fanatics, and then the Instagram Owen Jones BJ. That's where you find all the links and everything on there, the good stuff.
thanks for watching another episode of Fix My Game presented by King's Kimonos. We will catch you next time. Stay tuned for more tips, tricks, techniques from the best in the world.